so much. There is so much that can be done. There is so much we can achieve. But our mindset is already, we have a suspicious mindset as a people. Business is risk. Life itself is risk. We get up every morning and you leave your house and you come back, you say praise the Lord because you are at risk. Anything could have happened on the way, going and coming. There's so much insecurity. There's so much fear, so much doubt. But for us, this society to be transformed, to be changed, it has to be people. All of us, we have complained. And I keep saying here, until we get to the point that our voices will be loud enough. And you know when you say your voices will be loud enough, it has to do with finances.
Yes, sir.
Because you are able to change things and to lobby things because of you have the finances and the means to. I was discussing with a pastor friend and I was telling him, I said, look, the way the Lord has structured us now to perform as marketplace apostles, it's like a pastor in a church will come. Because the church is so much, there's so much anger in the church. There's so much anger with the youth concerning the church. You will see it on social media. They are talking about pastors, they are talking about all this because they're seeing that as if the pastors and the churches they are not interested in social issues. But I said to some of my pastor friends, we cannot sit on the fence. All of us here today, education and healthcare was brought to us by the Catholics. It was brought to us by the priests. And I said two things. Perhaps you can take it to your pastors and tell them from time to time and discuss this thing because these things are doable. One is that, do you know that now a pastor can just stand up and say I want everybody in the healthcare, everybody that is a healthcare officer from doctor to the last, I want to see you. And he will say to you, I say, look, we want to start a hospital, we want to have a sick bay, let's even have a sick bay somewhere. And you have a sick bay and you get those doctors to do pro bono basis and just prescribe and come up with a budget and say 500,000. You people give 500,000. Doctors and pharmacists, what are the basic drugs that we can use? The basic drugs. And you bring out 500,000 and you start that service. Do you know that people seeing what you are doing, they will begin, you don't even need to use church funds after that to do that thing. People will begin to donate to the drugs. People will begin to even pay and say, look, we will pay those doctors, we will pay those doctors for those services. Do you know how many lives you will save? This is what a church can start. And guess what? I run a foundation. And this foundation is run, the operations is based on sponsorship. So I know and I see that it is possible that we have healthcare, that we have hospitals, that churches have started. And at the end of the day, this is the vision of which I've always said that let it be that Christians and believers are having global brands. That they will know this state globally, know where your company is. That the God that we serve is saying that he can turn your company to become a tourist attraction. Amen. That people coming to Nigeria say, no, I want to go to that manufacturing company. Let me even see. It's the glory of the Lord. We can start off healthcare in that way, and the church, it will not be, the financial burden will not be on the church. These things are things that we sit down. I'm reading a book, and I've said I've been reading a lot about the mind. And you see that there's the critical thinking they taught us through the university of arguments and how to observe science, observe, interpret. we make you criticize everything, but we do not have a constructive thinking, a creative thinking. This is the second part of thinking that we are trying to put into the minds of people and say, look, let us think, not trying to shut down. The life has gone beyond this. If this is good, then this must be bad. That is how we do. If this person is bad, this one is good, it doesn't follow. That means in between, there are many other things that we can have, but we are not doing it. Creative thinking, constructive thinking, we say, how do we, yes, we are weak in this area, how do, instead of criticizing, how do we make this thing work? And the essence of Marketplace Apostle, the essence of why we do what we do here is for you to begin to think in the society, what can we change? What can Christians change? We can do healthcare. Do you know that talking about this hospital, believers even in healthcare can begin to go to these pharmaceutical companies and they will be donating drugs to the extent that people will be sponsoring that hospital. It is sponsorship driven, and the church is not paying any time towards it. It's just constructive thinking. Not to say this one is bad. What can we do about it? This is the essence why God gives you opportunity, and gives you wealth for this type of thing. So when you have money, you can make the difference. That you can make the change. And today, God is doing a lot of things in this foundation. Last year, I said, did someone remember the first January conference we had? We're talking about market linkages, international. Can someone remember? Yes. Because it's time for us to go global. Yes. So the time has come. And I need you, life and business is about risk. It's about knowing people. I've been discussing, I'm not the one doing the presentation this morning, that's what we're doing. The guy is going to come up very soon. I've been talking with these guys, this company, or these people, they are Christians, they are believers, and they have the mind to help. They have the mind to come. I'm trying to see if they can come in September, because there are a lot of people that want to come, but they are afraid to come because we have bad name. Nigerians have bad name when it comes to corruption, duping, defrauding people. But I said to this, they have packages that can change your mind, that can change your life. And I said, look, instead of waiting till September for you to come, I need you to speak to the people, let them hear you and know that these opportunities are there. Because truly you must go international. You can't remain local. You can't remain in Port Harcourt. You can't. So I need you to think like that. But it costs. This is where Christians begin to shrink back. It costs a lot. It costs a lot to do what we are doing. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to ask for donation because this man has to be paid. But it's bringing an opportunity for you. We do things free here, but there are some that cannot be free because we just have to pay. We just have to do. But I'm giving it's not compulsory. The administrator have talked about the master class. Yes, that one will be paid for to see, but it's subsidized to see that you get the wealth from it. But this type of presentation, I have many. I have over 20 people that I discuss and I chat with that can be a blessing to me. But the thing is that it costs, like it's going to cost to bring up this thing, to set it up for him to speak to you and to give you that opportunity to know what is happening in the world. A lot is happening. And this man is someone that is going to be having master class for the next 6 or 7 weeks through the same means. they come down to the country, it becomes even better for you to have access. See, there's a lot that is happening. For Christians, we're not bringing ourselves. God has given me the opportunity for me to be in many places. Let me tell you something. Many places. I go to Lagos. They don't want me to come back. People have offered me not to come back here. People sat me down and said you can be a billionaire in the next 6 months if you come to Lagos and change some things. And I said to them, if I go to Lagos and become a billionaire for 35,000, this is a training that we do 150 in Lagos and people are begging for it. People are begging for it. And why would you think that Lagos will not go further than that? Must he always come from that direction? Can something good come out? I think it's about time that we free ourselves and free our minds and latch on to opportunities that can change our mind. There's so much we can do. And with this, I share a lot, and I share with the partners. We're trying to build partnership, or raise partners, and thank you, the partners that contribute on a monthly basis to make us do what we do. But we can do more. More of you can join to make these things work and make it possible for us to change the narrative here. I've talked to people. I said, why do you want to do oil and gas summit and do it in Abuja and do it in Lagos? I have no problem. You see, I don't have problem. I know some of us are from the southwest. I have no problem. But what I'm saying is that there must be equal development all over. Yes, sir. Because if not, even the Lagos is a threat. Yes, it is. There has to be. And this is the reason why I'm not leaving this place. Because at the end of the day, all of us that are from here, we still return to the United States. We still. Your bones will be buried here. So why don't you make something in this place? Niger Delta, Rivers, I'm from Delta here. All of us are connected. All of us have the same heritage. Let us do something and let it be open. Let's do something that will transform and change the face of the Niger Delta. Tell them to come and do a oil and gas summit. They say we'll do it in Abuja because of this security. But it's our brothers that are agitating. It's our brothers. When we want to break things here, when we want to riot, we destroy things. But our brothers in the southwest, they don't destroy. If they are protesting, do they burn Lagos? Lagos is intact. But we burn here and destroy things that make us, that are supposed to, after the quarrel, are supposed to be the things that we live. These are some of the issues. I cannot address all these issues, but partners can address it. It's called Cyrus Group. Come and join Cyrus Group. It's not equal giving, but it's equal sacrifice. It's the Cyrus Group, the few people that are able to say, let's even sponsor this. It takes a lot to run a foundation like this. And I'm not telling you because we have done this we've taught most of you, for some of you that knew us from Landmark to here, 12 years, 13 years, did you ever ask you to give money? At ICBEP, have you ever seen us ask? But if we need to ask for money, it has to be for something that is worth it. It has to be something that is worth it. And to further educate you on things, that's why we have the masterclass. So we can take time and give you I want to correct the SME. I say contractor, my people say I should call it SME. How contractors I have failed as a contractor. I've lost money as a contractor. Men talking about it, the mind as in thinking about it, the money I've lost as a contractor, the ignorance that you know what, the Mugu money you have paid as a contractor as a SME is paying me. So I had to research. I say no, these are the aspects of a contractor and SME that's running a small organization. What are these? The first module is that business systems that people are talking about. But that is 1 out of 12. And that is the master class. By the time you finish that master class, your company will no longer be called SME, you become multinational. It's true. So please, we call. We're in Lagos now. There's a team in Lagos because we want to bring Lagos for this year made in Nigeria. We want to bring Lagos, Abuja. We want to bring them to Port Harcourt. Insecure, they will say this, they will say they also want to come. There's a company that is doing well in Lagos. We told them it's only Lagos that you enjoy. What is? Why can't you come to South South? And they are listening. They are listening. So it means that if they come to South South, they will live in your houses. They will use one facility or something. You can become a contractor to them. There must be something you can take from them, and that is how development comes. So if you help us in making Nigeria work, it means that Rivers State will. Who says making Nigeria can be 2 or 3 times a year? To be attracting investment, to attract these people. I think it's time. There's nothing holding us on. I think it's time. Another thing is all of us want to build empire. Empire mentality. I don't see the model now. I go and start my own workplace ministry. No, it's the truth. Because in the South, we can never send one person. We can never. That's what is killing us. Why go beyond now? You get too ahead. But Dangote is a group of people that push one that has the grace. All I'm saying, send me. I've done this for 18 years, and I've not asked. If I am not faithful, you would have said, in all this year, in all this teaching. It takes every Monday I'm here, I'm teaching. Every month I do this. This is going to 18 years of doing the same thing. Don't you think I'm qualified? Send me. Join the partnership. God bless you.
Awesome. Excellent. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm fired up. Sounds like you got quite a fired up crowd there.
Can you see them? Can you say hello to them? Can you see? Can you see them?
I'm streaming you live. Fired up crowd there.
Hello, Philip. Can you see them?
Yep. Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
Hello, Nigeria. Awesome. Wow, you good looking crowd.
So,
boy, how many people you got sitting in chairs in there?
About 80 something.
Awesome. I love it. You guys ready to change your life?
Yes. So
you have dreams, you have goals, you have things you want to accomplish in life?
Yes.
I thought so. I thought so. Well, I'm super, super excited to be here. Greetings from the Seattle area. I'm actually in a town called Bellevue, which is on the east side in Washington State in the U.S. And it is 3:45 a.m. There's an 8-hour time difference here. But when Uche told me what you guys were doing and what your goal, your plan, what your vision is, I got excited because it falls right in line with our vision of helping people achieve the life that they've always wanted. And so we decided to partner up and really kind of take that next step. So, Uche, have you played the short 2-minute video introducing the financial fitness program?
Okay, let me play it now.
I can do that right now.
Okay, go ahead, do it. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, give me just a moment here. See if I can figure out how to screen share.
Financial fitness knowledge. It takes knowledge, it takes application, and it takes an understanding that you bring that. No matter where you are in the room or how you got there, your financial future is up to you. The question that remains is, where is your road leading? Introducing the Financial Fitness Program, your guide to lasting financial health and security. A uniquely designed program to help you solve the elusive mystery of acquiring, keeping, and producing enough money to live the life of your choosing. Delivered in 3 simple to follow categories, you'll learn financial offense, making and keeping more money. Financial defense, getting out of and staying out of debt. The financial playing field, the rules, the money, and the economics that directly impact your finances.
Changing how we spend money, how we think about money is beautiful. I feel free. I feel free, and I'm not even that free yet, but I just feel free because my thinking about money. My wife now has a luxury of working uses for 1 day a week. For the first time in my life, I'm a title holder. I own 2 titles. I was able to buy a car cash. At the end of last month, we calculated $187,000 of debt that we paid off.
We own our car, we own our housing, we own our life, and it is the most amazing feeling.
Our program will lead you to a very unique path.
Going through and getting the 3 boxes is really life into our life. It changed my outlook. And it got to dream big, hope. That's what really it gave us. What gave us hope.
There's nothing in remarkable ever, anywhere I have been seen, nothing is, we don't.
You have the power to live your financial dreams, to get out of debt, to increase your income, to turn financial weaknesses into financial literacy. It's time for financial peace. It's time for financial security. It's time to get financially fit.
All right, make sure we didn't lose you. Okay, awesome. So, what do you think of that?
Great. That's great.
Are you guys excited yet?
Yes.
All right, so let me jump right in here. And oh, hang on just a sec. There we go. Gotta make sure my clicker's working. Okay, so this is a new format. This is totally different than anything I've ever done before. Trying to do something like this via conference call, and I've set up here in my living room, and so we're just gonna do it. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
All right. So, do you mind if I say a quick prayer? Open us up.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Father God, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to influence lives, to change lives, to impart wisdom and better information into the lives of people all over the world. Father, thank you for those who have shown up, who are hungry, who want more out of life. Father, I pray that you would open hearts and open minds, Lord, that you would give me the words to speak, that your Holy Spirit would speak through me. Lord, that you would speak to their hearts and minds, that it would not be me, that it would be your Holy Spirit speaking through me into a nation that needs you and your better information more than ever. So, Father, we thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for these amazing people. Bless this time. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. All right, so let's do this. So you saw a little video. You saw what was going on. Let me kind of real quick run through what we'll be discussing, what we'll be talking about here. So I'm going to give you kind of a quick overview of the company and the founders and what the company stands for. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, where I come from, so you have an idea of who is this crazy guy speaking to you from halfway across the world. And then we're going to talk about the 3 keys to wealth. How many of you are excited about that? We're going to talk about literacy. Specifically financial literacy, the offense, the defense, and the playing field. And we're going to talk about leadership, character, task, and relationship. We're not going to go into a lot of detail there. That's a whole other talk. We'll touch on it just a little bit. And then we're going to discuss leverage. And we're not going to go into much detail there, but we're going to discuss just a tad on the edification, promotion, and duplication. Those are the 3 factors that affect your ability to leverage and have great success. So, again, that's like a whole nother talk. This talk is going to be specifically focused on the financial literacy piece. You guys okay with that? Yes. All right. So we're gonna dive into that program. We're gonna take a look at it. And then I'm going to show you how to get started right now, how to use it, and then I'm going to give you a special bonus specifically just for you guys for showing up today. All right, so the company, LIFE, the acronym stands for Living Intentionally for Excellence. How many think that's a really good idea?
Yes.
The Bible tells us very clearly that we should be doing that, yes?
Yeah.
So our headquarters is in Cary, North Carolina. We were founded on November 1st of 2011. So we've got a few years under our belts. As a company, we're in elementary school. So we're finally potty trained. And we're wearing our big boy pants now. Lifetime revenues over $500 million. So what that translates to is a lot of lives changed. Financial status from day one. We've never owed a penny. We've been completely debt-free since the beginning. If you look at Fortune 500 companies, almost none of them. I believe it's somewhere around 80%. Don't you know, 92.7% of statistics are made up on the spot? Anyway. A large percentage of the companies, the Russell 2000 has over 1,800 that have more debt on the books than they do assets to cover it. Let that sink in for a minute. Most companies have more debt than they have the ability to pay for. From day one, we've been completely debt-free. We've never owed a penny to anyone. As a company that specializes in financial education, that's kind of important, don't you think?
Yeah.
Our principal founder, Orrin Woodward, Inc. magazine, top 50 leadership and management expert in the world. He's by the age of 25, he had 4 patents and a National Technical Benchmarking Award. He was a 7th level engineer on the fast track to take over the reins as CEO of GM. And he found some better information and he said, oh my goodness, I am on the wrong ladder. So he stepped down off that corporate ladder and said, I'm going to go change lives. And here we are today with Oren as the principal founder. He's a Guinness World Record holder. I think somebody actually just beat him out on that record, but this guy is the most incredible leader I have ever met in my life. Some people, you hear about them, and there's a lot of hype, and then you meet them, and you're like, I don't know. But this guy, you hear people talk about Oren, and then you meet him in person, and you're more impressed. That is so rare. Having a chance to sit down with this gentleman, and his level of leadership is through the roof, which is why he's on the top leadership guru list. And Mr. Chris Brady, whom he mentored along the way, is the only other person on that list mentored by someone else on the list. I think that kind of qualifies Oren as being the number one. But we'll let Inc. magazine kind of set that. They are the president and vice president of the All Grace Outreach, which specifically takes $1 of every subscription and also every penny of the proceeds from the sale of their best-selling book, Launching a Leadership Revolution. From day one, all the proceeds have gone to funding All Grace Outreach to help people who can't help themselves. Orphans and widows, all kinds of charities. Some amazing programs have been done all over the world through that funding. So let's see. Chris Brady is now our CEO. A little bit about me. So I live here in the Seattle area. I think I already covered that. My wife and I, she's sitting here watching me. We're coming up on 11 years of marriage. The most incredible woman on the planet, right here. I love this woman. So we have 4 kids. My oldest, Jordan, is 14. Brooklyn is almost 8 come this summer. Liberty is 4, and Benjamin is now 2 years old. So we have we got our hands full here in this household. I originally went to school to study theater, which then helped me in my sales background, which then translated into this industry, where now I get to speak and influence people all over the world. Like I said, I spent 15 years in the appliance industry, post-theater, and now, because of this information, I was able to learn how to start a handyman company. So I own a small handyman company that fixes stuff around the house, walls and just a little bit of everything. But I started that company because of the principles that I learned in this program. And because of that, I do that by day and I teach and train by night. My passion for educating others, learning truth myself, applying it, and then teaching others is more exhilarating than any other thing I could ever do. Has anyone ever felt that way? Maybe some of you? I love getting to help people live the life they've always wanted. Bottom line. Others are helping me, and I in turn get to help others. So my experience with this program, like I said, it helped me create a handyman company. My wife and I have now paid off over $120,000 worth of consumer debt, cars, student loans, and credit cards, and all kinds, just tax debt. To give you an idea, I was able to start a small handyman business, like I said. 1 year alone, my third year in business, I was able to grow that handyman business over 300% just by implementing a few key principles. It's been amazing. So, in addition to that, my wife and I are now on the same page regarding our finances. We're able to take a step further. We actually see light at the end of the tunnel. There is a way and a plan in place. We want to build a school and a camp and a training facility. I'm looking at 400 acres where we want to build this thing to help people who can't help themselves, bring them in and train them and give them the tools that they can have to be able to go out and succeed in life. That's just one of our many goals, one of the things that God's called us to do. That's in the future, but now we have a plan to get there, and we're excited for it. One of the key principles that we learned is why tithing is so important. Not just the fact that you should do it because God said, but why? Why does God say you should tithe? What does it do up here in your brain? What kind of mindset does it put you in? Revolutionary in at least in our society. I don't know, you guys might already have this figured out. We learned how to pay ourselves first. That was a key principle. So now let's move in. Let's really kind of dive in. Now that we're, the clock's ticking, that gives you an idea of the company, of us, where we're at. Does that help you guys see where we're going?
Yes.
All right. You ready to dive in?
Yes.
You got your notepad, your pen and paper handy? You ready to take some notes?
Let's go.
All right. 3 keys to wealth. We're going to talk about leadership, literacy, and leverage. Like I said, we're going to focus on the literacy piece. But the literacy, the playing field. What are the rules of the game? And here's, there's 3 types of freedom in this world. In order to really truly be free, one key thing is economic freedom. If you don't have the means, you are not as free as you could be. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
Another key, let me give you the 3. There's spiritual, there's economic, and political freedom. If you have economic freedom and you have spiritual freedom, but you don't have political freedom, how free are you? What if you have political freedom, but you don't have economic freedom to be able to move somewhere that maybe doesn't? And of course, spiritual freedom is easily one of the most important ones. If you do not have economic freedom and you don't have political freedom, but you do have spiritual freedom, nobody can take that away. And that is the most priceless thing that we have. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right, make sure we're on the same page. So, although I may not be able to help you with political freedom, I may not even be able to help you so much with spiritual freedom, but I can help you with economic freedom. So, let's talk about that. For me, learning the playing field was such a key piece. Because I found in life, that I was trying to play basketball, but realized that I was on the football field. And I couldn't figure out for the longest time why I was having trouble trying to dribble a basketball on the football field. Does that make sense? Why can't I get ahead? Why can't I figure out this money thing? What's the problem? Oh, I am playing by a different set of rules. I get it now. So you got to understand the playing field, the rules of the game, the defense, how to keep and protect more of what you have coming in. And then, of course, the offensive strategies, how to create more, how to make money while you sleep. How many think that would be a really good idea?
Yes. Yeah.
We're going to learn a little bit about that. So, the playing field. We have a huge, huge problem all across the world. I'm going to talk specifically about here in the U.S., but it sounds like what you've got going on in Nigeria is maybe a touch worse in some ways, and equally as bad in many other ways. So, Uche, do you have the slides up on a separate screen?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, and you guys can see this?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So, let me go back. All right. The problem is we have this financial matrix working against us. And if you kind of take a look, you've got your consumers, and you have your government and businesses. And if you see a common theme here, we all have debt feeding this financial system. And, you know, how do governments gain more money? Well, there's really only two ways. They inflate the money supply, and they raise taxes. That's it. That's the only two ways the government can get more money. Right? You guys are familiar with this inflation thing a little bit, right?
Yes.
They're stealing the value of your Naira. We call it the hidden tax. So the government, when they charge higher taxes, the businesses, they have to pay those taxes. Well, what do you think happens on the business end? Do they just pay the taxes? No. They raise the prices and make the consumer pay for it. Right?
Yeah.
So the consumer gets hit with higher prices from the businesses who have to pay higher taxes. Oh, and then the businesses have all this debt. So what do? They raise prices more to cover their debt payments. So there's a double whammy right there. Higher prices, higher prices. Now the household, you got debt too. Or at least most Americans do. We're up to our eyeballs in debt here in the U.S. It's out of control. So households, we got $27 trillion worth of debt here in the U.S. All these debt payments go into the financial system. Oh, but the households have to pay more taxes too. So the households get this quadruple whammy with the higher prices doubling up from businesses, higher taxes to the government, and all this debt payment. So we've got these three massive pipelines just leaving our house, and we can't figure out why. We're bringing in, you know, if we go to work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, some people work 16 hours a day. Some people working 2-3 jobs just to keep up, because they don't understand that you've got three massive pipelines sucking the money out of your house while you go to a job and bring home these little buckets. So if you've got a bucket and then your wife has a job, she's got a bucket too. So you bring it in a couple of buckets, you don't realize that it's spilling, and you've got all this water just leaving. If you relate money to water, do you guys understand the analogy? Am I losing anybody?
No.
Okay. So inflation, debt payments, taxes, these massive pipelines draining our ability to have financial stability. And it's no wonder our dream tank is on empty all the time. Most of us have forgotten how to dream. I won't make you raise your hands, but maybe some of you feel that way. Like, there's just no way. How am I ever going to do this? How am I ever going to get this weight off my shoulders? God, help me. How am I ever going to do this? And maybe you begin to feel hopeless. And you start to give up those little dreams of, oh, wouldn't it be nice if I could travel? Boy, if I could just spend more time with my sick parents. Boy, if I could just be able to pay for the medicine for my sick child. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if I could just give more to my church? Boy, wouldn't it be nice if I could just give more time to the charities and things that I care about? But I can't because I don't have the time or money or both, right? Did you guys understand? Did you guys feel me?
Yes.
Because that's where I was. And in some regards, I still am. I'm still learning how to dream. Some say I'm pretty good at it, but I'm still trying to get that back too, somewhat. And when life is hard and you start giving up those dreams, it's very difficult to learn how to dream again. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
So I want to inspire you today to dream. Start dreaming bigger. That's one of the things, that's one of the key things that we're going to talk about in the financial fitness program is learning how to dream again. It's a skill. Did you know that?
Yes.
It is a skill. I love that. So let's move on. Let's see if I can discourage you some more. Let's shrink those dreams down some more. Okay, we don't want to do that. But we have a huge problem here in the U.S. We call it the 45-year plan. This is what it looks like. You have the most people start work around the age of 18, and they work for a couple of years, and they start getting great raises, and their boss loves them because they do great work, and they got good attitudes, and they start climbing the ladder. And somewhere around age 30, 35, somewhere in there, they find that the raises stop. And at some point, they only get paid what the job is worth, and no longer what they are worth. Maybe you guys have experienced this before.
That's right.
I did. I remember going to my job saying, I'm better than this. I deserve more. And you're only paying me this little piece. I got frustrated. Maybe you guys are frustrated too. Yeah. We're going to change that. So you have this 45-year plan. You suddenly the raises stop, but guess what? Your expenses have increased now because now, somewhere between 18 and 30, 35, you started doing some different things like getting married, having children, buying automobiles and houses and other toys, and we start to accrue all these new things in life right in that same period of time, right? Yeah. It all costs more, doesn't it?
That's right.
And suddenly we stop earning more, but our costs have increased so much, and we flatline. How many are in the medical industry? Is a flatline a good thing?
No.
No! We do not want a flat line. That is bad. So here in the U.S., at about age 65, and it may end up going to age 72 here shortly, but you end up retiring. I hate that word. I used to think it was some cool thing where, hey, let's, you work all life, pay into a system, and then you can retire, go hike your pants up to your armpits and go golf in Florida. But that's not the case anymore. It doesn't work like that. So we end up retiring, we paid into, here in the US, it's called Social Security. And we joke because we say it's social insecurity, because by the time I retire, there won't be any money left in it. It is the biggest Ponzi scheme, in my opinion, ever. I digress. You guys are familiar with that, right? You know what I'm talking about. So, we retire, and somewhere we have to live on a third, maybe as much as a half of what we were barely getting by on before. How many think this is a problem?
Yeah.
And if you're young, you have no idea about this yet, but maybe you've got some older parents or grandparents that are starting to experience this. And you kind of start to wonder a little bit. And it's time to start thinking ahead. It's time to start putting a plan in place. I want to help you with that, because it's massively important to your economic freedom. And here's the key. Here's the key. This is what I love so much, because if we start getting a lot more people in Nigeria totally financially free, you now have the ability to buy back your time, to create enough income where you can walk away from your job. You can call your boss. You can call in with an eye problem and say, "Sorry, boss, I just can't see coming into work today." Due to some planned restructuring, I can no longer afford to sell my time for you to the mere pittance that you pay me. Sorry, Mr. Employer, I'm going to have to let you go. How many would like to do something like that? To be able to make money while you sleep, to have income coming in where you can walk away from your job if you want to. Now, some people, you love what you do. You went to school for it. And you're doing a service like doctors and firefighters, and we need you. And if you love what you're doing, please keep doing it for the rest of us. But if you don't like your job, if you don't like what you're doing, and you would rather be serving your purpose, you'd rather be doing what God called you to do, instead of selling your time for a job to pay bills, that's what we want to do. We free a whole society. We start freeing Nigerians, one family after another family after another family after another family, after this town and then that town and then this town. And you start getting people totally financially free. Guess what you can do with your country? You now have time and money to focus on political issues. Now you can go influence the political system and change things for the better in your country. How many think that is a really good plan?
That's right.
That's what we can do. Together, we can do it. The system will help. So, let's move on. This is basically a picture of what it looks like. You've got 1% who are wealthy, 4% who are financially fit, and the rest of everybody else is either still working, dead, or broke at age 65. I don't want to be that statistic, do you? No. Yeah, no. We've got a huge problem, but we can fix it. So, let's talk about what it looks like with where we're at. Let's talk about the career quadrants real quick. So, this rocked my world. This blew my mind. When this was first shown to me, it finally clicked. I went, oh, I get it. I understand now why I was trying to play basketball on the football field and it wasn't working. I finally understood that it was my thinking that was the problem. So, the career quadrants on the left side, you've got those who work and those who manage. And maybe you can put up in the top left there, the manager, you can put self-employed. And, you know, the 95% of people are on this side. That's just where they're at. Where mentality is worker or employee. I'm going to do a job. I'm going to do just enough to not get fired and hope that the boss will pay me just enough for me not to quit. Does that sound familiar? Maybe a little bit? All right, so moving up, as we increase our ability to lead people, this is one of those 3 keys. Remember we talked about literacy, leadership. This is where that leadership piece comes in. Your ability, wow, talk better, Philip. Your ability to lead people will increase your ability to earn. Did y'all know that those were connected somehow? Yeah. Amazing how that works. On the left side, we trade our time for money. But as we move from the left to the right, we find that the latter is not so limited anymore. As we begin to lead people better and leverage systems, we can move from that manager or self-employed and we can shift over into the entrepreneur quadrant. That's where we want to help you change your thinking. Even if you're in a job, we can teach you how to become an intrapreneur, to be able to lead people and leverage systems better that make you and your skills worth more in the marketplace. Novel idea, isn't it? So, as we talk about leveraging systems, only 5% of the world is on this right side. Do you know there's a lot of space for us if we want to shift over there? There's a lot of room. Think of it this way. We've got 2 rooms. On the left side, you've got 5 cookies and 95 people. On the right side, you've got 95 cookies and only 5 people. How many want to be on the right side?
I want to be there.
I don't know. Maybe you don't like cookies. I do. I love cookies. So, moving from the left to the right. Now we have an unlimited ladder. Now we can climb as high and as long as we want. This is where we start buying back our time. This is where we start living a legacy, leaving something behind for the generations to follow. This is where we start massive influence. This is where we start changing the culture. You gain financial freedom, you buy back your time, you climb the ladder, and you help a lot of people do it with you. That's where we're going. And here's the key. It doesn't just happen. You just don't decide to lead people and I'm a manager now. Aren't I cool? Well, let's move over and leverage systems. Okay, I got it. It's a gradual process. It takes time. As you implement new skills over time, you start to make that shift. You start to lead people better. You start to leverage systems better. And at some point, you make a decision to step out and do something radical and become an entrepreneur. And your mindset begins to change. You start reading books, you start listening to better audios, you start associating with better people, and you begin to make that shift even faster. Did you know that you are the average of the top 5 people that you hang around most with? Your income. your marital relationship, the way you parent your children. Pick anything in life. The top 5 people you associate with most influence all of those behaviors, and you are going to be very much like them. Here in the U.S., they say your income will reflect those top 5 people, the average, within about $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Has anyone ever heard that before? Pretty impressive. So maybe some of you need to make better relationship choices, decide who you should hang around with maybe a little bit more, and who might need to be limited a little bit more. Financial fitness services. We have a whole host of tools that will help you apply what you're learning through the financial fitness program. And we can kind of go into a lot of those, but the master class is probably the key one I want to talk about. But a lot of these are only available in the U.S., like the Tracker, the Protector. Oh, I labeled that wrong twice. Oh my goodness. I'm terrible. We've got a Protector, we've got a Saver. That one in the middle should say the Saver. Okay, so legal services. What's available for you is the master class, the video training series, the pay-per-view library, the debt roll-down calculator, and the wealth habits series. That's an audio series. But the master class is the key piece, because what that will do is walk you through step by step all of the principles in the workbook, in the book, in the financial fitness program, and help you apply it in your life intentionally, specifically, and where to go. The first thing you're going to learn is how to learn how to dream again. Now we move into the offensive piece. Now this is really exciting, because Uche and Marketplace Apostles, what they're doing is so key to this piece. You have to play offense. You have to get better information in. This is where you increase your skill set, which makes you worth more in the marketplace. It helps you earn more at your job, get raises and promotions, get better jobs. This is all the soft skills and the intangibles that make you a better version of you and increasing you toward the best version of you. So we have something called Rascal Radio, which is personal development on streaming all the time. So, for instance, have you guys heard of Pandora? Do you guys have Pandora Radio out there? No. So this is a streaming radio program specifically for personal development, and it's got, you can choose your topic. Say today I want to listen to stuff on marriage. I want to listen to stuff on parenting. I want to listen to case studies on business. I want to improve conflict resolution skills. I want to look at my speaking skills. I want to increase, whatever it is, you can pick your topic, pick your speaker, and it'll lay out all the talks that we've ever given from the best of the best who have fruit on the tree in that specific area, giving intentional talks on all those topics. Totally customizable, amazing radio platform. It is one of my absolute favorites. I listen to it almost every day. The leadership platform is leadership from around the world that's not associated with life. Big names that you may have heard of, book summaries, audios, videos, trainings, all sorts, just a myriad of leadership, business, entrepreneurship, Inc. magazine, digital subscription to Inc. magazine, just loaded with content. Language learning. Anybody want to learn a different language?
Yes.
That's included right in here. Oh my goodness, language learning. I got that in there twice too. My goodness. I need help. Power sales training. This is my favorite of all of them. Power Sales University teaches you how to communicate with people. I think they should take the sales thing out of it. It should be power communication. What it does is it teaches you how to listen, how to communicate, how to understand other people so that you can communicate better with them. It is the most incredible tool. It's a 28 month video training program that is phenomenal. It is about a $300 a month program outside of life. If you were to just go on the internet and say, hey, I want this program, Fortune 100 companies spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for their top salespeople to go through this training, and we have it available at a fraction as a part of our total personal development. Pay-per-view library, the Life Library, and here's one of the key things for you guys is all of the books that Life has done, they're all on audio and e-reader, right on the app. So, Launching the Leadership Revolution, right on the app, audiobook or ebook if you like the e-readers, or if you want to listen to it, or both. It's all there. So, personal development is a key piece of increasing your ability to earn. And what Marketplace Apostles is doing is they're taking information and they're teaching it to you every Monday. Uche, you're doing an amazing job with this, with the Monday classes and the Saturday seminars and your yearly conference. That's exactly what we do here in the U.S. Weekly trainings, monthly seminars, and we do quarterly large events, just like what you're doing, that teach people all the best personal development, professional development, financial development to help you win. I love what you're doing, Uche. And if you guys are not involved and taking every opportunity, absolutely. You guys are here on Saturday and you're taking all this information in. You're hungry students. So I give a big round of applause for yourselves. Hungry students. If you're not taking advantage of Uche's classes on Mondays, do whatever it takes to get there, be there on Mondays, and get the training, because it will directly impact your ability to earn more income. I can't stress that enough. It is paramount to your success. All right, moving on. The program itself is $140. It gives you the book, it gives you the e-book, it gives you a whole host of CDs, digital, but we're going to move into the digital piece because for a lot of reasons, we can't ship the physical product to you, just with all the political stuff and the tariffs and the taxes, and it would cost you a fortune to be able to get the physical product. And we're just not, we don't want to do that to you. We want to help you save money, not spend money. Okay? We want to help you earn more, not spend more. So, digital product available right on your phone. How many are excited about that?
Yeah.
All right, one. I got one. Okay. Uche, we got one. One person's excited. Oh, okay, there's more. All right. I had me worried for a second. So the digital version, you're going to get the book. The ebook, you're going to get the workbook. Now, so here, you get it digitally, but guess what? You can download it and print it. For those of you who want something physical, you can actually print it off if you've got a printer or if you know somebody with a printer. It's available in 3 different languages: English, French, and Spanish. Soon to be Italian, and soon to be any number of languages, depending on where we go and who picks it up and who wants to run with it. So here's another key piece, is that everything we do is available, so you download it. If you're in a area where you get Wi-Fi, you can download the information and then utilize it offline. Listen to it when you're not in a service area, so you're not using up your data. How many think that's a really good thing? Yeah, I know. Some of your data plans are kind of expensive, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So being able to download it when you're in a Wi-Fi area and then play it so you're not using your data is huge. I love that. That was a big deal. So the financial fitness program is only $140. It's about 50,400 naira, if I do my math right. I think so. 360 to 1, right?
Yeah.
Is that the going? Okay. So you're going to get the video training series as a part of that. And this is Chris Brady and Orrin Woodward. They walk you through step by step, principle by principle, 2 to 5 minutes, one a day. And they walk you through the whole thing. And it's all a part of the kit. So here's the special offer. You guys ready for this?
Yes!
All right. So there's a lot of you in this room. So I may have gotten myself in deeper than I knew. But I'm going to give everybody, every single person who has the financial fitness program, I'm going to give you access to my master class. We're going to run through a 6-week video course that walks you through step by step in a super fun and entertaining manner. And then, here's the part that I may have... this is going to be a lot of work on my part, I think. There's a lot of you there. But I will give every single person, every couple that have a green box and go through the 6-week masterclass, I will do a personal mentoring session with you. And we'll do a video call similar to this, way more relaxed. I'll probably just be wearing a t-shirt, but hey, it's all good. So you guys ready? You want to know how to get started?
Yes.
All right. So you can grab your cell phones. Go ahead and pull them out right now. Go ahead and grab it. Open your browser. It's okay, I'll wait. You go to winner.financialfitnessinfo.com. Once you're there, you should see this. Give me a shout when you see that.
Winner.financialfitnessinfo.com.
You got it?
Winner. Sorry, it's not. Winner. WINNER.financial
Fitness info.com.
info.com.
And you should get a screen. If you scroll down to the bottom, it looks like that. Now you got a lot of data being used and might be overloading your your area. So I'll give it a second. I'll wait.
Okay?
You got it?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to select digital, and then you'll get while you guys are doing that, I want to read you a little poem that kind of fits, it ties in really well with what we're talking about today. This is titled, I Wanted to Change the World. The author is unknown. Most think it was written by a monk somewhere around 1100 AD, but we don't know who it was. So he says, when I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. I found it was difficult to change the world, so I tried to change my nation. When I found I couldn't change the nation, I began to focus on my town. I couldn't change my town, and as an older man, I tried to change my family. Now, as an old man, I realize the only thing I can change is myself. And suddenly, I realized that if long ago I had changed myself, I could have made an impact on my family. My family and I could have made an impact on my town. Their impact could have changed the nation, and I could indeed have changed the world. That's what we want to accomplish. We want to help you become the best version of you so that you can influence your family, your town, your nation, your country, and eventually the world. That's the goal. Can we move on?
Yes.
All right. So when you scroll down, once you get this one, you select digital, you scroll down, then you'll be able to create your account, set up your username and password. You put your email address in there. And I should mention that down here at the bottom it says referral ID. I want to make sure that that says winner. And then, of course, you scroll down, you'll want to make sure that you've got your country and your language selected properly. And then you'll hit checkout.
Let's go.
All right.
Can we go?
Yep. All right, so, moving on, go through, you can make changes, get your address. Of course, if you're doing the digital copy, you may not have to put your address in there. Payment method. And then, everything we do has a 30-day money-back guarantee. Is that a good idea? So you'll read that, you'll check that box, and then place your order, and then you are live, and you have your financial fitness program in the palm of your hand, right on your smartphone. And then you'll just log back in. You'll go to winner.financialfitnessinfo.com, and you'll log in using the same credentials that you entered, and boom, it'll be right there. You will have your financial fitness program and the key to your future success right in the palm of your hand. So, we're going to begin today. Today's the day. I don't know if anybody's heard that story. Maybe I'll tell that another time. Treasure hunter out seeking for treasure deep in the ocean. And every day he would go out and say, today's the day. And he went through all kinds of just ugly trouble. And every day he still went out. Today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day. And he ended up finding the largest, the richest treasure ship ever found. We just call it the Etosha, the Signore de Etosha something or other. I don't remember what it was. We just call it the Etosha. But you can look it up. He sells trinkets in South Florida. Mel Fisher, my wife helping me out. Every day he went out and he said, today's the day! Today's the day! I'm telling you, today is the day. The first day of the rest of your life, that cliche saying. But there's some truth in it. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. And it's your choice to make it better or not. So, you get your green box, you're going to join the master class, and I'll get a list of your email addresses as they start coming in, and I will communicate with you, and we'll set up the master class here very soon, and invite everyone in to the master class, and we'll start running that and help you literally go through step by step and begin that process of changing your family's future, your legacy, and the legacy and the direction of your entire nation. And it's going to take applying what you've learned. How many understand that if you just take it and you just set the phone down on your deal, and it becomes shelf help? And if you don't dig in and apply it, it's not going to transform your life at all. You guys understand that, right? I don't have to remind you. But when you do apply it, you will live the life you've always wanted. If you practice the principles, apply the principles daily, intentionally, walk through the process, and stay with it, I guarantee you will live the life you've always wanted. It'll happen. So, before we quit, Before we go into the next session, I want to read you one thing. One of my favorite all-time poems by Marianne Williamson. Directly, I love this. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. You were born to manifest the glory of God that is within you. And as we let our light shine, we absolutely.
Okay. How many people? One.
If you have a question, please take it.
1, 2, 3.
Everything she's tall.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
6 foot 8 inches tall.
6'8"?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Awesome.
Wow.
Okay, Mr. Philip, thank you very much for the lecture we've had so far. It has been quite impressive, and I know Pastor Uche has been doing something of that nature for quite a long time over here. And we also want to add to what he has been teaching us for quite a while, the package you have there. But what I'm trying to solicit is that, don't you think we can negotiate the soft copy of this material you want to give us a little bit lower? Instead of $140, which is equivalent to about 50,000 to something less. You get the question?
I'm not sure I have a little trouble hearing you with my speakers.
So do I take it again? Can you hear me?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
I'm suggesting, if we are getting the soft copy of the material, can't you bring the price a little lower? Instead of $140, which is equivalent to about 50-something thousand naira, can't we bring the price a little bit lower because we are getting the soft copy of the material, in addition to all the services that goes with it?
I've heard something about the